Hi everyone, I just wanted to give a quick bit of feedback on how I found the new film SPECTRE. I was intending to do this directly after I got home last night, but I did have a lot of things to process. I wasn't quite sure what my opinion was of the film really. I enjoyed it, but was it as good as Skyfall or not? And I'm still not sure on that one. I still think Skyfall might be the better film. Now, I think my problem lies in the fact that I may have been going in expecting a different film to what I saw. It certainly had a more 60s Bond film vibe to it, which I wasn't expecting, and it was very, very different to Skyfall as a film. Now, there's plenty I liked about it, don't get me wrong, it was a brilliant film, but there were certain bits which I don't think worked very well. So I'm just going to list a few of them without creating any spoilers at all for you, because I know lots of you outside of the UK still have to wait a week and a half or so to watch the film, and I do feel for you very strongly there. So let's start with the good first of all, again without causing it too many spoilers here. First of all, the best thing about the film, I think, is the Mexico sequence before the pre-titles, before the opening titles kick in. Very good stunt work, good music. I liked it all there. And there's a nice 4-minute tracking shot as well, which looks seamless. I don't know if it was performed in one cut or not. Apparently it was, but it is seamless all the same. It is a brilliant shot. And the helicopter stunt work is phenomenal. It's brilliant. So we move on to the opening titles, where Sam Smith's Writings on the Wall kicks in. And you will appreciate the song a lot more having seen the opening title sequence. The words do fit very well to it, and it will improve the song for you, and it did me, and I do appreciate it a lot more now having seen the opening titles. Humour is certainly back with a vengeance in this film. They did start a bit more so in Skyfall, but it's ramped up even more here, and you do get a few more one-liners, a few more quips from Bond, a few just looks from Craig at points, which caused laughs. Most of the laughs really came from Q. He's brilliant in this film, and he has a lot more to do. And some of his lines are brilliant, and the rapport between Bond, Moneypenny, Q and M is brilliant. A few more things, I've got them listed here. The train fight is excellent. Another standout action sequence between Hinks and Bond. Very reminiscent of The Spy Who Loved Me and From Russia with Love, but much more violent. You can see they have put their all into that fight, and I think it's probably the best fight scene in the whole franchise. And likewise, the opening sequence in Mexico, I think, is probably the best pre-title sequence in my opinion now. What else was there? This is no secret. There in the trailers, there is an explosion at a facility, and what you see in the trailer is only part of it, because I heard it was going to be the biggest explosion on film, or the biggest one they've done in Bond at least, and it didn't look that big in the trailers, but you haven't seen half of it yet. It's amazing. The car gadgets are good. They implement them well. We've obviously seen one in the trailer, but there's a few others up the sleeve that they do introduce quite nicely and add a nice little twist to the car chase there. What else have we got? The locations, excellent locations, and of course we are aware of where they've shot anyway. But the locations do work well, and they do look very, very lush and places you'd really want to visit. The product placement is toned down a lot in this film. I didn't catch myself noticing too much at all. Obviously the biggest one is probably the watch being signposted, mainly because it comes up in dialogue. Any other non-spoilers? Oh yes, Hinks is an excellent henchman. Obviously Craig hasn't had a proper henchman to contend with in his films, but Hinks changes all that, and certainly much more iconic, and I think he'll go down as a good Bond baddie once the film's been out for some time. The okay elements, the car chase, it's all right, and they do, like I mentioned, do a bit of a difference with the car chase in this film, but it was only okay. The way they've been ramping it up, I thought it would be spectacular, but unfortunately, it fell a bit flat, really. And there are links, as has kind of been hinted in publicity beforehand. There are links to the previous Craig films, which work on some levels and some not. You can tell it's kind of been forced in some places as a last minute, we've got the rights to Spectre kind of thing. So it kind of works, but it's not the best thing. The music isn't great in this film. If you've heard the soundtrack already, I avoided listening to it apart from the backfire track. The music isn't great. He repeats the tracks from Skyfall quite a lot. The new tracks, mainly at the beginning of the film, in the pre-title sequence, are good. The DB10 is underused for, again, how they ramped it up in publicity. Doesn't really feature too much, and Monica Bellucci is underused as well. She doesn't really appear that much. In the one scene you see her in, you don't really see her after that, which is unfortunate. And the other big thing is the romance between Bond and Swan isn't as good as I was expecting it to be, and seems a bit forced. I think they were expecting it to go down a lot better than it has done. Anyway, those are my spoiler-free thoughts for now. I'll do a proper review once I've seen it a few more times and once America's had it released, so I don't spoil too much to you. But I hope that's helped you to get an idea of how I found the film, and hopefully you don't have to wait too much longer to watch it. Thanks for watching.